Good morning, this is Daryl and welcome back to another video for Gran Turismo 7. For today's video, we will be again tuning the Dodge SRT Tomahawk X VGT to under 600 performance points. For those who are not familiar with this technique, there was a tuning glitch introduced in patch 1.11 that when applied to the Tomahawk X lowered the performance points or PP to under 600. Well, this technique allowed the Tomahawk X to enter the World Touring Car 600 races. One particular race was the Tokyo Express East version, which pays out 550,000 credits for placing first, and also goes up to around 825 if you have a clean race. You can finish this race in under 20 minutes, which would effectively net you around 2.4 million credits every hour. This is by far the best credit farming race in the game, and it has been made easier with this tuning technique that we have right now. For this video, I will be showing you two methods on how to tune the Tomahawk X to below 600 pp. What you will need for this tuning method to work are the following upgrades: fully customizable racing transmission, a fully customizable racing suspension, a fully customizable ECU, racing hard tires, racing intermediate tires, ballast weights, and the power restrictor. You can find all these upgrades in the tuning shop. Well, now that you have all the upgrades, I will be walking you through on how to tune your car to under 600 pp. Both methods, you first need to set the power output, restrictor, and gear ratios to the following. Let's first set the ECU power output to 70%. Then next, let's set the power restrictor to 70% also. Then here comes the tricky part where you need a little bit of work. The gear section, go to manual adjustments and set the fifth gear to 0.880. Now let's move to fourth gear and you have to set it to 1.410. For third to first gear, you have to max out the sliders a few times to get the right numbers as they are unusually very high. You can do it faster by maxing out the gear ratio for third gear first, then moving to second gear to max out the slider there, then to first gear and max out the slider. Then you can go back to third gear to max the slider again and repeat the process until you get to the right numbers. I'm currently showing on screen how I'm doing it to make it a little bit faster for you. The gear ratio for third gear is 8.673. For second gear, it's 9.186. And for first gear, it's 9.619. Once you have all the gear ratios set to the correct number, click on triangle to save your settings. For the first method, we have to set the tires to racing hard. Then we have to adjust the front suspension to 100. You can now set your ballast to 196 and the ballast position to -50. With the current setup, if you measure the performance points, it will be around 619, but we need to lower it to below 600. To lower the performance points further, we have to set the toe angle for the front to 0.15 and the damping ratio to 32. Once you're done with your adjustments, press triangles and you will get a result of 500 to performance points. Now that we have our performance points lower than 600, we can enter the World Touring Car Race 600 in Tokyo Expressway East. Here is some gameplay footage from this first method, and as you will see, I am struggling a bit with this method as we placed some ballast in front of the car, which makes it very hard to turn, especially in the first few moments of the race. In the first 3 laps, the track is very wet, and you will find that turning is very slow. And if you go on with the race, you will find that this car isn't very fast. You will reach a top speed of around probably 260 miles per hour from this. Although this is enough to win this race, it will be a bit slower. My time for this race was around 21 minutes, when I can normally finish this race below 18 minutes. Another factor for contributing to the long time of this race is that I incurred a lot of penalties. I was really struggling with the grip and the handling of the car, so I hit the wall a lot of times. In each time you hit the wall, that's a 5-second penalty, and you will be forced to slow down in the deceleration zone. Every 5 seconds you will lose approximately about 7 to 8 seconds in real racing time. So this is the first method that we have. Now I will be showing you the second method. For the second method, we will be using a ballast of only 25 and a ballast position of -25. Now we will be selecting the racing intermediate tires for this method. These tires are very useful in this specific race because the track is wet, and this will improve the handling of our car. A quick note for this method, you need to set your body height adjustment to the stock settings, which is 80 for the front and 90 for the rear, and return the damping ratio to 40. You also need to return the front toe angle to 0.1. If you've done this method correctly, you should have a performance point rating of 557. Now I am showing on screen what it's like to race in the racing intermediate tires with this method, and I tell you, this is much easier than the first method that we showed with the racing hard tires and the heavy ballast. I finished the race in just about 19 minutes and had 0 penalties, and it was much easier for me to navigate around corners with the intermediate tire. One thing to note about this is that the intermediate tires degrade much faster than the racing hard tires, especially when the track dries out. And I think I pitted at around lap 10 just so that I could have new tires. You don't need to refuel if you are using the manual transmission, since you will be running at 5th to 7th gear most of the time, and you will have enough fuel for the remainder of the race. So that's it for this tuning video. I hope you found it very useful for your credit farming runs. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to click on the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel for more GT7 videos. Once again, this is Daryl. Thank you for watching this video and have a nice day.